This week on TCU Sports Now, we see how the men's tennis team is preparing for the ITA Championship.
Both the men's and women's basketball teams are looking to rebound from losses Wednesday.
And what to expect from Horned Frog baseball this season.
From the Bob Schieffer College of Communication, this is TCU Sports Now. Hello and thank you for joining us on TCU Sports Now. I'm Samantha Kalimbahin.
And I'm Hayes Clement.
We have some breaking news. TCU guard Charles Hill Jr. has been suspended. The athletics department made the announcement Thursday. Following last night's 23-point loss to Texas, Hill tweeted, "Ignorance is doing the same exact thing over and over again, expecting different results." It is not known whether or not the tweet was the reason for his suspension. The athletics department offered no further details.
In last night's game, senior Kian Anderson shed first blood with a three-pointer in the opening minutes. That would be the largest lead of the game for the Frogs. Texas went on a 19-3 run midway through the first half, which all but buried the Frogs en route to another conference loss. Anderson again led the Frogs in scoring with 11 points. The Frogs take on Oklahoma State Saturday at Wilkerson-Granis Athletic Center. The women's basketball team put up big numbers at Kansas State Wednesday night. Junior Zayna Medley led TCU with 21 points and 8 assists. 4 other Lady Frogs scored in double digits, and senior Chelsea Prince recorded 7 steals. But TCU lost to K-State 93-79. The Lady Frogs moved to 14-9 on the season. They will play at Oklahoma on Saturday.
TCU football has found its new defensive coordinators. According to FootballScoop.com, safeties coach Chad Glasgow and linebackers coach DeMonte Cross will replace former defensive coordinator Dick Bumpus. Glasgow has coached the Frogs defense for 13 seasons, and Cross has been at TCU for 2. Also, graduate assistant Paul Gonzalez will be the new cornerbacks coach after Kenny Perry left for Kansas. The men's tennis team is in Chicago for one of their biggest tournaments of the season. Before they left, I visited practice to catch up with the team.
They're fit, they're strong, they're fast. I haven't seen anybody get tired at all in any match.
With a top 25 ranking, the TCU men's tennis team is on one of their strongest starts this season.
Now we just got to make sure that it's all the fine-tuning and make sure that they're hitting at all cylinders.
This week, the team is competing in the ITA National Team Indoor Championships. This is the first time the team has played in the event since 2001.
There's nothing really intimidating about it. I mean, there's a lot of highly ranked teams, obviously, the top 16 teams in the country. But I mean, I think we're looking at more of an opportunity. We're not really intimidated by any of it.
The team punched its ticket to the championships back in January. They upset number 10 Texas A&M and later beat number 45 LSU. Back then, TCU was number 37. Now, they're number 17. Head coach David Roditi says the team's experience has made the difference. 5 players on the team are seniors.
They can take all the credit from when they came to this program where it was 4 years ago, and this is a perfect example of what they've done with the program, this senior class, and where the program is now.
The team may be entering the tournament undefeated, but Roditi says the team is prepared for anything, even losing.
I know we're not going to go undefeated this year. You know, that's really hard to do. But win or lose, these guys know that they are doing everything they possibly can to prepare and do the best they can at every match. And that's, at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for, and that's our attitude right now.
An attitude that will hopefully build a better team. Samantha Kalimbahin, TCU Sports Now. In swimming and diving, TCU is looking toward the Big 12 championship meet after a loss to Texas last Friday. Seniors Allie Bleasdale and Cooper Robinson took first place for the Frogs in the 200-yard backstroke. The men eventually fell 151-122. The women fell 157-111. TCU will return to Austin on February 25th for the Big 12 championships.
TCU baseball opens its season this weekend, but will the Toads return to Omaha?
Our Brad Hardcastle has the preview. Brad?
Thanks, guys. After last season's College World Series appearance, TCU baseball is ranked as high as number 2 in the country coming into the season. Players say they're confident the new starters can fill holes left by attrition, but it won't be easy. Here's more about who's leaving, who's returning, and how high this team's ceiling truly is.
The Frog season ended in Omaha last year, and a big part of their success stemmed from the play of 2 juniors. Left fielder Boomer White had a breakout season. He led the team in batting average and was named to the All-Big 12 first team. First baseman Kevin Crone's powerful bat came up big for the Frogs last year. Crone led the team with 6 homers and 18 doubles, but Crone has since signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks and White transferred to Texas A&M. Crone is said to be replaced by senior Jeremy Fagan. The Midland College transfer started 20 games last season. He had 15 hits and 2 home runs. Boomer White could also be replaced by a transfer. Junior Dane Steinhagen is said to be a front-runner for the left field position. He hit .324 and scored 59 runs last season for Howard College. The Frogs also lost catcher Kyle Bauchak. Schlossnagle said it's possible that 2 freshmen will split catching duties this season. Hearst, Texas native Zach Plunkett and Washington Nationals 34th round selection Evan Skaug are expected to be behind the plate in 2015. The position that remains the deepest for TCU is pitcher. The Frogs will have to replace last year's ace Brandon Finnegan, but Big 12 Player of the Year Preston Morrison is expected to fill that role, and sophomore Tyler Alexander will take over Morrison's Saturday duties. As for the Sunday starting position, it's still up in the air, but Schlossnagle said he thinks junior Alex Young has a great shot at making the weekend rotation. Coming out of the bullpen is projected first-round pick Riley Farrell. The closer has a fastball that tops out at 99 miles per hour. He had a team record 15 saves, a 0.79 ERA, and struck out 40% of the batters he faced last season. The Frogs also keep their setup man Trey Teakle, who finished the season with a 2.34 ERA and a 6-1 record.
Overall, the Frogs look like they could be dominant on the mound like they were last season, but replacing 2 of their best offensive players will be a challenge. We will have a better idea of how the Frogs' potential when they take on Southern Illinois this weekend at Lupton Stadium. First pitch is scheduled for 6:30 Friday night. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at TCU360 Sports and TCU360.com for updates. Back to you guys at the desk.
Equestrian is looking like they deserve to be one of the top teams in the nation. The second-ranked Frogs beat crosstown rival SMU Friday at the Fort Worth Stock Show. The final score was 11-7 with a commanding victory in Western. TCU looks to avenge its only loss of the season this Saturday against top-ranked Baylor.
TCU Sports Now returns. We'll take a look at an unconventional sport on campus.
We'll give you an update on the men's golf team.
And we'll look at the TCU sports world and evaluate who's hot and who's not.
Whoever said it was lonely at the top must have never been to TCU. TCU, learning to change the world.
To give TCU a lead that's never topped.
Of all the storied traditions at TCU, academic excellence is the most enduring. TCU, learning to change the world.
Only the most talented can play a Division I sport, but anyone can stay competitive.
I went to investigate what alternatives students have beyond traditional athletics. A video board, 60 feet, and 10 pins comprise at least one of TCU's classrooms. Bowling is being offered as a 1-hour PE credit and is held twice a week at City View Lanes, just a 15-minute drive from TCU's campus. According to the class syllabus, students learn technique, rules, etiquette, and scoring with the hope that bowling becomes a lifetime sport.
Yeah, so it's twice a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, and we basically just learn technique at first, and now we just recently picked our teams, and now we bowl against each other and compete.
Class instructors score each student's handicap within the first few weeks. That average determines the class's top bowlers, who then draft a team of 3. Round-robin play seeds each team into a playoff spot. Single elimination matchups then determine a class champion, but an even bigger accomplishment would be a perfect score. From City View Lanes, where they're keeping it 300, I'm Hayes Clement.
The men's golf team is enjoying their top 5 finish before heading out to their next tournament. The Frogs came in 5th in the Amar Ari Invitational. Senior Julian Brune matched his career low 64 on the last day. Paul Barjan and Chelsea Barrett rounded out the top 18. The team will travel to Palm Desert, California to compete in the Desert Intercollegiate on February 20th. And now it's time to take a look at the good and not so good in TCU sports.
Evan Folan is in studio with more. Evan?
Thanks, Hayes. Do me a favor, take off your jackets, go grab yourself an ice-cold drink, and get ready for TCU Sports Now, hot or not. Let's jump right into the heat. Right off the bat, I can name 5 sizzling TCU football players. Running back B.J. Catalon, linebacker Paul Dawson, safety Chris Hackett, cornerback Kevin White, and offensive tackle Tayo Falubajay. These fiery 5 have received invitations to participate in the 2015 NFL Scouting Combine. Bing, bing, call the bellman because these 5 can get their bags checked into the hot zone.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Farrell to the stretch. 1-2 pitch.
Now transitioning over to America's pastime, and just a little warning, you may want to put on your oven mitts before handling this one. TCU's relief pitcher Riley Farrell is knocking on the hot zone's door, and quite frankly, I think we should let him in. Farrell was named first-team preseason All-American after ending last year's season with a .79 ERA, a 3-1 record, and a TCU best 15 saves. Whew, geez, I almost broke a sweat covering that segment. Wait a second, did someone turn on the AC? Ooh, it's getting a little chilly in here. You know what that means. It's time to cover those who are not so hot. Quick, someone help. Someone check TCU's basketball's pulse because it seems as though they've gone ice cold. They looked so good at the start of the season. A 14-game winning streak was snapped by West Virginia, and after that, the wheels started falling off. After being trampled by the Longhorns on Tuesday with the final score of 66-43, these Hoopsters are currently on a 7-game losing streak. But don't count them out just yet. These dribbling frogs have the potential to break this streak as they tip off versus Oklahoma State on Saturday at 5 p.m. in Fort Worth. I hope you all enjoyed that segment of Hot or Not. It'll be interesting to see if TCU beats that losing streak.
And hopefully it gets on the hot list this time.
And it'll be interesting to see how they do without Charles Hill Jr.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, thanks for joining us at TCU Sports Now. That's all we have this week. Tune in next Thursday for coverage of Frog Baseball's opening weekend.
Enjoy your Valentine's Day and visit TCU360.com for more news.